It's amazing what a difference a month can make in the NBA, right? I mean, when two teams play just a few weeks apart and the outcomes are polar opposites, you just have to ask, what on earth happened? So today, we're going to break down the story of the Orlando Magic and the Golden State Warriors, a tale of a huge upset followed by some sweet, sweet revenge. Okay, let's just look at the numbers here. On November 18th, the Magic get a nice road win, 121-113. But then, fast forward to December 22nd, and the Warriors just completely flipped the script, winning 120-97. I mean, do the math. That is a massive 31-point swing from one game to the next. So, what gives? A swing that being isn't just a fluke. Was it a big strategy change, a different mentality, or was there something else going on behind the scenes? Let's dig in and figure out how a confident Magic win turned into an absolute blowout for the Warriors. Alright, first let's rewind the tape to that first game. On November 18th, the young, scrappy Magic came into the Warriors' house and handed them a loss that really exposed some pretty serious cracks in the armor. Now, if you just saw the box score for the Stars, you'd be confused. Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler went off, combining for 67 points. You'd think that's a guaranteed win, right? Well, nope, not even close. And here's why. I mean, look at this split on the screen. It's like you had two totally different teams wearing the same jersey. The Stars, Curry, Butler, and Green were on fire, scoring 79 points and shooting almost 58%. But the rest of the team? Oof. Just 44 points on a really ugly 34% shooting. That lopsided production just isn't going to get it done. And it wasn't just the fact that nobody else could score. The Warriors were just sloppy. They coughed the ball up 18 times. That's just killing your own momentum and handing the Magic easy buckets. It was a perfect recipe for a loss. Okay, now let's jump ahead to the rematch on December 22nd. And honestly, before the game even tipped off, the injury report had already completely changed the story. So the Magic roll into San Francisco and they are seriously shorthanded. We're talking 4 key guys out of the rotation, and most importantly, 2 of their absolute best defenders. Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner were out. That's a huge blow to any team's game plan. And just to put into perspective how big a loss that is, let's just look at Jalen Suggs. When he's on the court, the Magic's defense is just elite, like 94th percentile elite. You take him out, and suddenly there's this massive hole, especially when you're about to face a guy like Steph Curry. So naturally, with the Magic missing their best defenders, the narrative was already written. Everybody, all the analysts, they were all saying the same thing. The stage was set for a massive revenge game from Steph. But, you know, sports are funny. They're rarely that predictable. That big Curry game that everyone was waiting for? Yeah, for the entire first half, it looked like it was a total bust.
Of the last 2 years.
Yeah. Well, this shows you there's other teams that's going through it. All these road trips.
Even with all their injuries, the Magic's defense came out swinging and just locked Curry up. He was 3 for 13, couldn't buy a 3 to save his life, and you could feel the fans thinking, oh no, here we go again, another one of those nights. But then, midway through the third quarter, the dam just broke. Curry finally hit a 3.
Jemski saved the day. Curry an open 3.
And it was like a light switch flipped on. That single shot sparked an 18-point explosion in the second half that didn't just turn his own night around, it turned the entire game upside down. And that spark from Curry, it turned into an absolute wildfire that the Magic's depleted roster just had no answer for. The game was basically decided in one overwhelming stretch of basketball. It all came down to this. The Warriors were actually trailing late in the third quarter, and then they just unleashed a vicious 19-2 run. This wasn't just a comeback. It was a total blitz that just slammed the door on the Magic for good. And here's the beautiful part. The real difference from that first game, it wasn't just the Curry show. During that game-winning run, you had Quentin Post scoring inside.
Without Banchero on the floor, he batting to the advantage. Quentin Post to show and go, flips it up and in!
Butler and Moody hitting big threes, and the rookie Brandon Podjamski with a 3-point play.
Butler's got to bail him out, and he does it with another 3. How does he hit these lengths?
Warriors having to deal with trying to run their ball screen action.
3 creators with Podjamski, Melton, and
Everybody was eating.
Steph dropping it off to Jimmy, and okay, you're going to play Steph.
And when your offense gets clicking like that, what happens? Your defense feeds off that energy. The Warriors just completely clamped down, holding the Magic to a measly 14 points in the entire fourth quarter. I mean, game over. So when you boil it all down, how did the Warriors go from that messy, top-heavy loss to this dominant 23-point revenge win? Well, it really seems to come down to two key things. First, and this is the big one, their supporting cast actually showed up. They went from scoring just 44 points in that first game all the way up to 71 in the second. Having guys like Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski step up and contribute was a total game changer. And second, in a bit of irony, the Magic basically made the same mistake the Warriors did in Game 1. They turned the ball over 18 times, and this time, the Warriors' offense was firing on all cylinders and ready to make them pay, cashing in those mistakes for 21 points. You know, this huge win brought the Warriors right back to a .500 record, which just perfectly captures their season, doesn't it? Up and down, brilliant one night, frustrating the next, and one fan on Reddit just absolutely hit the nail on the head. It's a perfect description of this team. So this all leaves us with one big question hanging in the air. Was this just a healthy team beating up on an injured opponent? A bit of a fluke? Or was this revenge win where the whole team was finally clicking, a sign that the Warriors were actually starting to figure things out for real? I guess only time will tell.